Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare 1-cent coins, cause some of these coins are rare among collectors and are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we are going to explore the humble yet fascinating 1961 United States 1-cent coin. A tiny piece of copper that might just be worth a small fortune. Now, when most people think of a penny, they probably picture something lying at the bottom of a piggy bank, stuck in couch cushions, or casually tossed into a tip jar. But what if I told you that a simple 1-cent coin from 1961 could be hiding in plain sight, and if you're lucky, it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars? Let's dive into the story behind this unassuming coin. The 1961 Lincoln cent is part of the beloved Lincoln Memorial Penny series. It was minted during a time when the United States was entering a new decade of transformation, the early 60s. While millions of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, not all 1961 pennies are created equal. Some have secrets, some have errors, and some are so rare they make collectors' hearts skip a beat. So what makes this particular penny so special? It's all in the details. Literally, point one of the biggest things that coin enthusiasts look for when it comes to the 1961 penny is mint errors. These are small mistakes that occurred during the production of the coin, and while they may seem minor, they can be incredibly valuable. Let's talk about a few of them. First up, the double die error. This is one of the most sought-after types of errors in numismatics. A double die happens when the die, the metal stamp used to strike the coin, is misaligned or impressed more than once, slightly off. This causes the letters or numbers on the coin to appear doubled. In some 1961 pennies, collectors have discovered doubling in the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," or even the date itself. If you spot one of these, congratulations, you've just stepped into rare territory. Next, we have off-center strikes. These coins weren't aligned correctly when stamped, so part of the design is missing or shifted. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more desirable the coin. There are also clipped planchets, where a chunk of the coin's edge is missing because it was punched from the metal sheet incorrectly. And then there's the famous no mint mark versus D-mint mark debate. Most 1961 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and don't carry a mint mark, but if you find one from the Denver Mint with a clear D, or even better, one with a repunched mint mark, where the D was stamped twice slightly off, it becomes instantly more interesting to collectors. Of course, like with all collectible coins, condition matters. A coin straight out of circulation with heavy wear isn't going to fetch top dollar. But a 1961 penny that has been preserved in uncirculated or mint state condition, no scratches, no dings, just that beautiful copper gleam, can be worth significantly more. Collectors especially seek out coins that have been professionally graded by companies like PCGS or NGC. A 1961 1-cent graded MS67 or higher is incredibly rare, and when paired with a doubling error or a unique flaw, its value can skyrocket. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, believe it or not. A rare 1961 Lincoln cent with exceptional condition and specific minting errors has sold for a staggering $79,000. Yes, you heard that right. $79,000. For a 1-cent coin. So before you pass by another old penny on the street or dismiss that jar of coins in your attic, take a closer look. That little copper coin might just be holding a secret. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the 1961 1-cent is a reminder that history, rarity, and hidden value can be found in the most unexpected places. Top 2, we're diving deep into a seemingly ordinary coin that could be extraordinarily valuable. The 1966 United States 1-cent coin. Now, at first glance, a 1966 penny doesn't seem like much. It's small, it's copper, and you've probably seen hundreds of them over the years. But what if I told you that some of these coins, yes, the humble 1-cent pieces minted in 1966, are hiding rare secrets that make them worth far more than 1 cent? Secrets that could make them a dream find for collectors. In fact, stay with us until the end of the video because we'll reveal just how much one of these coins sold for, and trust me, it's a number you won't forget. Let's take a closer look at why this little penny has captured the attention of collectors all around the world. The year 1966 was a fascinating time for American coinage. The United States Mint was adjusting after major changes to coin production. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, The US had removed silver from dimes and quarters, and due to a nationwide coin shortage, the mint took steps to ramp up coin production. This included the suspension of mint marks on coins for a few years, including 1966. Now here's where things get interesting. Because of the massive production runs and the absence of mint marks, coins from this period can seem incredibly common. But among the millions minted, there are rare gems, coins that were struck with unusual errors, slight design anomalies, or preserved in exceptionally perfect condition. And it's those rare finds that are turning heads in the coin collecting world. Let's talk about what makes a 1966 penny rare and valuable. First up, minting errors. Mistakes made during the minting process can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Some 1966 pennies have been found with double die errors, where the design elements appear slightly doubled. This can happen on the date, on the word liberty, or on "In God We Trust." These doubled features are clear signs of an error during the striking process, and collectors love these mistakes. Another known error in 1966 pennies is off-center strikes. This happens when the coin blank, or planchet, is not properly aligned in the coin press. You'll see part of the design missing and a blank arc on the coin's edge. The more off-center the strike, the more desirable the coin becomes, especially if the date is still visible. Then there's the broad strike error, where the coin is struck without a proper collar, causing it to expand beyond the normal size. It gives the penny a sort of pancake look, totally distinct and definitely collectible. Even a clipped planchet can send collectors racing. That's when part of the coin's metal is literally missing, cut off during production. Now, beyond errors, let's talk about condition. This is a big one. Most pennies from 1966 have been used in circulation, rattled around in pockets, purses, and cash registers for decades. They've got scratches, dings, and discoloration. But on rare occasions, someone set one aside, maybe fresh from the bank, and kept it safe from wear and tear. These coins, called uncirculated or mint state coins, can look as fresh as the day they were made. And their value skyrockets, especially if they're graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC with a high grade. Think MS65 or higher. And here's the collector's fantasy. If you happen to have a 1966 penny that is not only in mint condition but also includes a rare error, that's the kind of coin that goes from a drawer to a display case, and eventually to the auction block. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a hunt. A hunt for that one piece, that overlooked treasure, that diamond in the rough. And the 1966 penny is a perfect example of how even the most ordinary-looking coin might be hiding something extraordinary. Here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can a 1966 1-cent coin be worth? Well, one rare example of a 1966 penny, in flawless mint condition and featuring a rare error, was sold for an astonishing $76,000. That's right, $76,000, all from a coin that many people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the ground. The next time you're sifting through old coins or checking your change, pay close attention. You never know what might be in your hands. A tiny copper coin from 1966 could be your unexpected treasure. Top 3, we're talking about a coin that might just be sitting unnoticed in your collection, your pocket, or even that old change jar at grandma's house. It's the United States 1-cent coin from the year 1971. At first glance, it might seem like just another penny. It's copper, it's tiny, and you've probably held one 100 times without a second thought. But hold on, because some versions of this very coin are worth far more than 1 cent. In fact, there's one that's sold for a jaw-dropping price you won't believe. Stay tuned, because we're saving that number for the end, and trust me, it's going to surprise you. What makes a 1971 penny so special? Let's peel back the layers and uncover the secrets that could turn this common coin into a rare and valuable treasure. First, a little background. The penny has always had a special place in American coinage. By 1971, the familiar Lincoln design, first introduced in 1909, had already been in circulation for over 6 decades. These coins were struck in copper and featured Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Millions were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But as any coin collector will tell you, it's not about how many were made, it's about the few that stand out from the rest. And that's where the magic of the 1971 penny begins. Let's talk about rarity and errors. The two things every coin collector dreams of. Some 1971 pennies were struck with doubling errors, known as double die obverse. This means that parts of the coin's design, like the date, the word liberty, or the phrase, "In God we trust," appear to be duplicated or slightly shadowed. It's a fascinating error that happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts ever so slightly between strikes, causing the doubling effect. This type of error is rare, and collectors go crazy for it. But that's not the only potential jackpot. There are also off-center strikes, where the image on the coin is not aligned properly, leaving part of the design missing and giving the coin an unusual, almost abstract look. Then you've got broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even struck-through errors, where a piece of debris or fabric accidentally gets in the way during the minting process, leaving a strange and unique imprint. These minting mistakes turn ordinary coins into one-of-a-kind collectibles, and the 1971 penny has been known to feature all of them. But even if your 1971 penny doesn't have an error, it could still be valuable. Why? Because condition is king in the world of coin collecting. Most pennies from 1971 have lived rough lives. They've been spent, dropped, handled, and scraped for more than 50 years. But if you happen to have one that was never circulated, something in mint state, with a shiny, unblemished surface, it could be worth far more than face value. Coins graded at MS65 or higher by services like PCGS or NGC are the cream of the crop, and collectors are always searching for those rare, pristine examples. Now, let's take a moment to talk directly to the collectors out there. You know who you are, the ones who love the thrill of the hunt, who appreciate the stories that each coin tells, who know that the tiniest error or detail can make the biggest difference. The 1971 penny is one of those coins that might seem humble at first, but hides a world of fascination. Whether you're new to collecting or a seasoned expert, this coin is worth your attention. Because here's the kicker, while most 1971 pennies are worth just 1 cent, there is a version, in exceptional condition and with a rare mint error, that shocked the collecting world when it sold for an astonishing $72,000. Yes, you heard that right. A small copper penny from 1971, something you might have walked past on the sidewalk, was once sold for $72,000. That's the beauty of coins. They're tiny pieces of history, miniature works of art, and sometimes, they're secret treasures just waiting to be discovered. So next time you're sorting through coins, don't rush. That old penny from 1971 might just be hiding a rare error or an incredible story. And who knows? It could be worth more than your car, more than your vacation, maybe even more than your first year of college. Top 4, we're diving into the world of US coins once again, and this time, we're unlocking the secrets behind a small but potentially very valuable piece of copper, the 1980 United States 1-cent coin. That's right. Just a penny. But don't let its size or its face value fool you. Because lurking among the millions of these coins minted in 1980 are a few special ones that collectors are willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars to get their hands on. So, what makes this penny different? Why are some 1981 cent coins worth only a single cent while others have become hidden treasures of the coin collecting world? Well, stick around, because the answer might surprise you, and at the end of this video, we'll reveal just how much the rarest version of this coin sold for. Spoiler alert, it's a number that'll make you rethink every penny you've ever handled. Let's begin by setting the scene. In 1980, the penny featured the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, or obverse, just as it had since 1909. On the reverse, it still carried the Lincoln Memorial, an iconic symbol and one that held strong meaning during that era. The coin was made primarily of copper, but little did most people know, some of these seemingly ordinary coins were born with extraordinary traits. Now here's where things start to get really exciting for collectors, historians, and those of you who just love a good mystery. The 1980 penny was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Denver and San Francisco versions carry small mint marks, a D or an S, while Philadelphia's coins carry no mint mark at all. But across all these mints, unusual and extremely rare errors started to show up. Errors that weren't obvious at first glance, but when spotted, made these coins highly desirable. Let's break down the types of errors that make the 1981 cent coin so collectible today. First up is the double die obverse, one of the most sought-after mistakes in coin collecting. On a double die coin, elements like the date, the word liberty, and even the motto, "In God We Trust," can appear slightly doubled, almost like a shadow behind the letters. This isn't damage. It's a rare minting error, and it drives collectors wild. Then there's the off-center strike. These happen when the coin blank, or planchet, isn't placed correctly during minting, causing part of the design to be missing and creating a unique, lopsided look. Some off-center strikes are minor, but others, especially those that show a large blank area while still clearly displaying the date, can be extremely valuable. There are also clipped planchets, where part of the coin is actually missing due to a miscut during production, and broad strike errors, where the coin was struck without the retaining collar, giving it a wide, flattened appearance. And one of the most fascinating errors? The transitional error. Occasionally, coins are struck on the wrong metal planchet, using a leftover from a previous year or denomination. Imagine finding a 1980 penny struck on a dime planchet. That's the kind of error that gets serious attention. But let's not forget one very important factor that affects a coin's value condition. A 1980 penny with a rare error is valuable, but if it's also in mint state condition, meaning no scratches, no discoloration, no wear, it becomes exponentially more valuable. Coins that are graded MS65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC are considered investment-grade collectibles. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. You see, most people handle pennies without a second thought. They're tossed into jars, forgotten in drawers, lost under couch cushions. But if you happen to find one of those ultra-rare 1980 pennies with the right error, the right condition, and the right attention to detail, you might be holding something that could change your day or your life. Collectors today are searching high and low for these rare finds. And as more coins disappear into private collections, the demand just keeps rising. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for. How much can a 1981-cent coin actually be worth? Well, if you've got one with a known rare error, preserved in top condition, professionally graded and verified, you're not just looking at a collector's item. You're looking at a serious payday. One such rare and valuable 1980 penny was sold at auction for a stunning $69,000. That's right, $69,000. For a penny. So the next time you spot a 1980 penny in your change, don't ignore it. Look closer. Study the details. You never know, you could be holding one of the rarest coins in modern U.S. history, hiding in plain sight. Top 5. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable pennies in U.S. history, the 1982 United States 1-cent coin. Now, before you dismiss this as just another penny, hold on. This coin has a secret. It's hiding a potential treasure, and in this video, we're going to reveal why this little coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. So, what makes the 1982 penny so special? If you've spent any time collecting coins or even just flipping through change, you might think the 1982 penny is just another run-of-the-mill piece of copper. But what many people don't realize is that 1982 was a year of major change in U.S. coinage, and these changes directly impacted the value of certain 1982 pennies. Here's a fun fact. 1982 was the year that the United States Mint made a significant shift in the way pennies were produced. For most of its history, the penny was made of 95% copper. But in 1982, the Mint began a transition to a new, cheaper metal composition, a copper-plated zinc core, made up of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper. This shift wasn't immediately noticeable to the average person, but it led to two very distinct types of pennies being struck that year, the copper penny and the zinc penny. You might be asking, what's the big deal? Well, here's where things get interesting for collectors. The copper pennies minted in 1982 are rare, and they're highly sought after. Why? Because they represent the last of the copper pennies ever made. After that year, all pennies were switched to the zinc composition, making these copper pennies a significant piece of U.S. coinage history. But the rarity of the 1982 copper penny isn't the only thing that makes it valuable. There are also some minting errors that make this coin even more exciting for collectors. One of the most well-known errors associated with the 1982 penny is the double die error. This is when the coin is struck twice, resulting in a doubled image of certain features like the date, liberty, or in God we trust. The double die error is highly coveted by collectors, as it gives the coin a unique and distinct look that can't be replicated. Then there's the off-center strike error. Off-center strikes occur when the coin's planchet, the metal disc used to mint the coin, isn't properly aligned during the minting process. This results in a coin that's missing part of its design on one side, giving it an asymmetrical appearance. While off-center strikes are rare in any coinage, they're even more special when they appear on a copper penny from 1982. And let's not forget the clipped planchet error. This happens when the metal planchet gets caught or misaligned during the cutting process, resulting in a piece of the coin being clipped off. These errors are rare, and if you're lucky enough to find one, it could be worth significantly more than a regular 1982 penny. Now, onto the condition of the coin. As with all collectible coins, the condition plays a massive role in its value. Most pennies from 1982 have seen heavy circulation. They've been dropped, used, and even spent countless times. But if you happen to find one in mint condition, uncirculated, and free of wear and tear, you've just found something incredibly valuable. Coins that are graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are the ones that can fetch high prices on the market. A coin in this condition can be worth a lot more than just face value, especially if it has one of the rare errors mentioned earlier. So, what's the big payout for finding one of these rare, error-filled, or mint condition 1982 copper pennies? One particular 1982 copper penny, in perfect condition and with a rare error, was sold for an eye-popping $65,000. Yes, you heard that right. $65,000 for a single penny. That's the beauty of coin collecting. What might seem like a simple, everyday coin could actually be a treasure in disguise. Whether you're just starting your coin collection or you've been at it for years, this is a reminder to always keep an eye out for those small details. A 1982 copper penny with the right error or in perfect condition could turn out to be your lucky find. So, next time you're flipping through some old coins or checking your change, don't just pass over the 1982 pennies. Take a moment to inspect them closely. You never know, you could be holding on to a hidden gem. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future episode. Until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and always remember, sometimes the biggest treasures come in the smallest packages. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video.